Greetings, everyone. This is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, AKA S.G.I.B magazine. It stands for Soldiers Got Intentions. Believe that, because everyone should be soldiering for something. A dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. And you must find the discipline in your life to have the motivation, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. To change the conditions of your life. You know, you have to want something more for yourself than what you feel or you think that you have to settle with in life. You know, let me start by, Michael Jackson. I don't know what they're going to try to do to try to stop playing his music, because how can you stop playing his music when just about every famous musician or sometime or another or artist or whatever would or he's everywhere. You can't stop playing his music. And it's funny, I told you I'm just watching a lot of Michael Jackson music for the first time. And I just saw the video for the first time, I Can't Stop Loving You. I Just Can't Stop Loving You, or whatever it is. And I did not know that there were other female artists on that track singing with him. When I saw the live performance, I was like, wow. I was thinking they were all Michael. But come to find out that there are female artists on there. And it was very nice, very nice. I like the song. I listened to it in Spanish because he did a Spanish version of that song. But this is one I'm going to play before I start talking about what I'm talking about. This is where my favorite, greatest performer of all times is Mr. Sammy Davis Jr. I love Sammy Davis Jr. Now, it was funny when I was with Vonny, Vonny's our personal photographer. Vonny, who was the founder of the Pre-GRAMMY party. Real quick, she used to work for a Playboy. She's a publicist. If you don't know what a publicist is someone whose job is to get the information out about whatever activity or whatever's going on or whatever product or whatever it is. Their job is to get the word out to the media and to the world that this is what's happening, this is what's coming out. So Vonny was a publicist for Playboy. She was also the Godfather Soul, Mr. James Brown's manager, personal confidant. Listen to how you love her. If you listen to how they tell it, So, and for the Pre-GRAMMY party, she also launched the Mr. James Brown Truth Awards that was handed out each year at that event. Now, Vonny, there was a time when Clyde Davis, a lot of you know who Clyde Davis is. He's contributed, he's done so much. I think for Sony Records, I think he's CEO or something like that, Sony Records or whatever, Clyde Davis. The Spengali of stars. Whitney Houston, just to name one. Alicia Keys, who, to tell you the truth, he did a terrific job with Alicia Keys. Because between you and me, the industry was dying for female artists. And although Alicia Keys was talented, I never thought of Alicia Keys as a powerful female singer. But the way Clyde managed her career by dropping that first album out and then he hid her from the public for almost 2 years. To allow to get as much as he can out of Alicia Keys' first project. Because she wasn't a very powerful enough female singer to go back to back to back to back. No, he did this and sat back. Even Miss Alicia Keys was so overwhelmed by what was happening to her, was that she went on a hiatus to Egypt or somewhere just to hide out or something like this. She couldn't probably believe what was happening to her. So Clyde Davis really knows the music industry and know his thing or two about making a star. Okay, but anyway, Clive Davis had this pre-Grammy party that he had every year during the week of the Grammys. During the week of the Grammys, if you were in the entertainment business and white mostly, you were privy to going to Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party. Blacks weren't really welcome at that time because you had to be extra extraordinary to go to the pre-Grammy party, not as a performer but as a guest. So that's how that pre-Grammy party was going on. So what happened was that Earth, Wind and Fire was the powerhouse at this time. This was like in the 70s. And at this time, most blacks, whenever they got a Grammy, they had to pre-record their acceptance speech. I like to thank the Academy and show the video of them thanking the Academy for their Grammy or whatever. They weren't allowed to receive their Grammys live, like they did downtown. Wait, was downtown. And so they refused to, which later on, because they were the powerhouse, the Grammys started to consider changing their ways of distributing the Grammys. And then Michael Jackson soon kicked in the door, and the whole floodgate was open at that time. You can't deny, you can't deny the power that black music was taking hold of in America. So Vonny had thought maybe, okay, well look, I will have a pre-Grammy party so blacks can come and honor their own accomplishments and achievements throughout the year, whether it be in the entertainment business, community service, or political. She created a venue where that we could come and honor our own. She really deserves to be in the history books for what she single-handedly done for the black entertainment industry that you will never hear about her except right here with me. She had Calamita Pittman, which I just learned how to say her name not too long ago, Calamita Pittman, who was her right-hand person. And Calamita Pittman was also the first rapping school teacher. So she was married to Gerard Pittman, who was the first black limousine owner in Los Angeles. So this is a time when there was a lot of first-time blacks were in a position, to open the doors for the way we have accept things today. So Calamita Pittman, who is also an extraordinary artist, she also hosts the Rosebud Breast Cancer Awareness each October in Los Angeles. So if you happen to be in Los Angeles and you see the promotion of that, go to it, because that's the closest thing to Vonny's pre-Grammy party that you're going to find, because it was anybody and everybody in the entertainment business would come. From the Jacksons, from Mr. Brown, from the Temptations. It was funny, I was walking one time and I saw this woman. I said, oh, you're just Judy. She said, no, that's the white one. I'm Judge Maybelline. I said, oh, you're talking about somebody being embarrassed, man? I was embarrassed. Not really, because, I know their faces. I'm a photographer. I never forget a face, but the names are, I don't remember too much. So Calamita, I came in on the second year of it happening. Calamita was, she was also a major backer for the pre-Grammy party. Not that it ever made money. When I met her, when I was going to do another version of it in Los Angeles, I went to meet her. She said, Gerard, people thought Vonny had money, but she never had money. She was barely lucky to get her money back, but it was good. But the most important thing, that's why I say, when you see on my little text on there that says, Vonny, we love you and we know you love us more, because she truly did. And that's why when you see my thing and I say I love you more, that's my paying homage to Vonny for everything I do. You know what I'm saying? Everything, because I never want to forget how much that woman has meant to me in my life. You know, she's opening more doors for me than Carter's got liver pills. But I don't want to go. I don't want to stray too much for what I want to tell you. So anyway, Janae Dubois, who was also on Good Times. CARMELITA also did the decoration. She's an artist, extraordinary artist. She also did Janae Dubois, who is you might best know her from playing Bologna with Good Times, the upstairs neighbor. She was also on the committee for the pre-Grammy party, and her lovely daughter RAINIE. And there was others too as well. Kenny Bates, who just recently passed away, was also one of those who was a part of that clique. It was funny because when I first started working for Vonny, when I met her, I haven't told this story in a long time, so now it's just a good time to tell it now. I was in Los Angeles and I was walking around and I saw that, I think called a Palladium, they were doing something, We Love Rock and Roll, hosted by Howard Hessman. But they were in the rehearsal process of the event. So I always have the knack of getting past security, simply the way I move, So I got past security and I'm walking around this place and I see them rehearsing on stage, Jefferson Starship, or the Temptations, Grace Slick, Frankie Valli, Chuck Berry, who else? Ronnie Spector, the Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. It was just extraordinary lineup of artists who were just rehearsing. So I'm watching because it's so important for me to latch on to somebody, but somebody walks up to me and say, "Who are you?" So I looked in the audience and I see Vonny. She's sitting there, and she was sitting kind of by a seat. There were empty seats around her. So I walked up to her and I said, "Hi." I said, "Hi, my name is Gerard." She said, "Hi, my name is Vonny SWEENEY." I said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm a photographer." She said, "Oh, you're a photographer?" I said, "Yes." You see, that's why I say, you have to know where you want to be in life. It's easy to know what it is that you don't want to do, and the hardest thing is to know what it is what you do want it to do. So to help you, first decide on where you want to be. Do you want to be around rocket ships on the launch pad? Around that whole activity of being around space and all that stuff. Then get a job cleaning up the shuttle. We all can't be astronauts. I couldn't sing, dance, act, or tell jokes, but I wanted to be in the entertainment business. So I thought about a camera that would put me there because I figured they all would need pictures at some point in time. And it worked. She asked me. She said, "Will you take pictures for me?" I said, "Sure." So she says, I'm Mr. James Brown's manager. You can go back there and take pictures of him for me. I said, "Oh." Now I was never a fan of the Godfather, so Mr. James Brown, the way the black movement has, mostly probably because, I grew up in not a black home or a white home. It was kind of like a hodgepodge of black and white. So I never really, got pulled in any direction. So I really didn't know about James Brown, Mr. James Brown. You can always tell people who actually know him because they would say he would be adamant about being referred to as Mr. Brown. And the best proof of that is when he was on Johnny Carson's show. When Johnny Carson was introduced him, talking to him, he said, "James Brown." He said, "No, it's Mr. Brown." He said, "Okay, James." He said, "Say it one more time." He said, "Mr. Brown." And he walked off the set. So those who actually know him, and they were referred to him as Mr. Brown. So that's the way it is. So anyway, so I went back and I saw Mr. Brown, and I said, "Mr. Brown, Bonnie, send me back here to take a picture of you." So he says, "Okay." He was putting on his boots and all his James Brown boots, what have me get dressed. He said, "Never take a picture of me smoking a cigarette." I said, "Okay, Mr. Brown, I will not take a picture of you smoking a cigarette." And that's why it hurt me when they did the documentary on him, that they put one still picture of him smoking a cigarette. It brought a tear to my eye. And I know he rolled over in his grave because he never wanted to have that image of him smoking a cigarette, that negative images of him. And that's what we do. And that's what's happening to Michael Jackson now. They want to tarnish everything what he's done, and just focus on the negativeness that is not proven, but they want to diminish his accomplishments. This is the best drink it is, especially in the morning. Kahlua and cream. So anyway. So y'all took pictures, but I wanted to tell you about. I started seeing Vonny a lot, going to her house and what have you. I had my daughters. Janae would play with my daughters. Vonny would play with my daughters. The actual set where you see a lot of pictures of Vonny and Janae with my daughters. And when they go to Vonny's house, it was like auditioning night. Everybody would come, people would come and, can I perform for you? And you get comedians in there performing, singers performing. You get all kinds. So I would sit back with Janae, me, and we'd just be laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing, and just having a good time. I'm taking pictures. It was like a show every night. Okay, now getting back to the story. There was one day that it was Janae Dubois, Carmelita Pittman, Vonny Sweeney, and a woman named Sally Rogers, who is also a performer. And we're at Vonny's house, and I'm taking pictures and all this stuff, and Vonny said, let's go to Sammy Davis Jr.'s house. And I'm like, Sammy's house? I'm going to be Sammy Davis Jr.? My TV, And so in my mind, I said, okay, yeah, let's go. But Janae said, no, I don't want to go to this house. Sammy's crazy, because this was the time when Sammy was going through, I guess, the last leg of his life, and he did like Frank Sinatra says, I want to do it my way. And he was going through whatever it was he was going through with girls, drugs, moving too fast, and what have you. And I guess Janae didn't want to get caught up in there. So I always held that against Janae. I said, Janae, it's because of you. I never met Sammy Davis Jr. So anyway, and of course, the pre-Grammy party, turned out to be something spectacular. When it ended, unfortunately, so did the pre-Grammy party. I try to revitalize it in Las Vegas, and the rest is, in past videos. But Vonny, she was extraordinary. One time we were having the pre-Grammy party in this hotel. In fact, I was talking to Ali Woodson because I was setting up transportation for Ali, who was the lead singer of the Temptations. Treat Her Like a Lady, because I wanted to. I had to get transportation for him to come on into the hotel, and I always had a thing with him because I would say, Ali, can I interview you this year? No, next year. Ali was, oh man, watch Ali perform is unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Him and Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band had a battle. I know there's footage of it somewhere. I don't know why these cats ain't releasing this stuff. Ali Wilson just kind of like has his hand on Charlie. Whoa! And Charlie, whoa! Like this. Whoa! Like this. And Charlie had two big diamond earrings in his ear. And one of them dropped out of his ear, and I'm watching this, and it's dropping down, rolling down. Of course, Charlie's like, oh! Looking for that earring because I'm sure it's worth a lot of money, So, in all honesty, to Charlie Wilson, I have to say that he was distracted by the dropping of that earring, But it was hands down that Ali Wilson was far superior when it comes to vocal skills. And so anyway, I didn't get to see. Vonny. In the hotel. So, bringing them into the hotel, and Vonny gets a call from downstairs and says, look, we have to cancel your pre-Grammy party at the hotel. And she's like, what? This is the day of the event. All these people are arriving and like this, and you're telling me I have to cancel? Little Bow Wow was shooting a movie, and they had decided to book the whole hotel. So all the activity of the hotel had to leave. And so Vonny, in her wisdom, picked up the phone and called here, and got it into a Shriners location and moved the whole pre-Grammy party in a matter of hours to a different location and set up and everything. It was absolutely unbelievable. But see, that's a tribute to the people who she had around her, who was willing to do what it takes to get the job done for the sake of Vonny. There was one time I was shooting for Mr. Brown. I was I was in New York, and Vonny calls me and says, Gerard, Mr. Brown's gonna be at the VH1 Fashion Award. Can you go take pictures of him? I said, yes, Vonny. I do a terrible Vonny voice, by name. I said, okay, Vonny, I'll do it. She said, oh, by the way, Gerard, thank him. I said, thank him? He thinks he gave you $1,000. I started laughing. I was laughing. Vonny was laughing. I said, really? Yes. So I said, okay, Vonny, I will. So when I saw Mr. Brown with his wife, Tommy Ray, they were at the trailer there. So I said, oh, Mr. Brown, how are you doing? He said, oh, how are you? I said, oh, thank you for, for the gift. You can never understand anything, like that. So it's so funny. It didn't matter, if I got the money or not, because the money would have been gone anyway. But what didn't matter to me is that Mr. Brown thought enough about what I'm doing for him to give me $1,000. One time we were shooting at the Wilshire Theater, and the Wilshire Theater has this tunnel that goes under the stage like this. And so I'm shooting, taking pictures of Danny Ray. If you don't know who Danny Ray is the guy who put the cloak over Mr. Brown. So I'm taking pictures of him. And Afia? I can't remember which wife it is or her name. But this is the first time she ever got up on stage to sing with Mr. Brown. So I said, oh, wow, I'm taking taking pictures. Wow, this is great, because she's singing with him on stage. And so when I'm going into the tunnel, one of the security from the hotel, from the venue said, oh, you can't take pictures here. I said, oh, that's okay. I work with Mr. Brown. Don't worry. Go. Shoot. Go away, little boy. I'm working too, And so I'm doing my thing, and next thing you know, I see him coming at me, and he put his hand on my camera. We're on the ground. I'm on top of him. Don't you? I could have killed him. Don't you ever touch my camera? And Frank's coming around. What's going on? You got to keep in mind, Mr. Brown. I feel good. Has no idea what's taking place directly underneath him. So we're sitting up. Frank, he wants me to give me the film. He wants to take the film from the camera. He says, give it to him. I said, what? He said, give it to him. I said, Frank, what are you talking about? He said, give them the film. So I opened the back of the camera, and I exposed the film and gave it to him. I vowed at that time never give up my film under any circumstances. Now, I was in North Carolina. I grew up in North Carolina to some extent. Crop tobacco, plow with a mule, hung tobacco, chop wood, all that stuff like that. I went to school there. I was there before they integrated all black school, and I went there when they integrated. I remember running from the whites because I was black. I remember running from the blacks because I was from the north. Yo, Yankee, But I also remember the girls loved me. So if you ever wondered why, I gravitate to girls, because they were there for me, so I'm never gonna desert them. So anyway, so I'm doing my dreams and nothing more than plans awaiting action. So I'm back home in my community, Laurinburg, and I go to the newspaper and I tell them, look, this is what I'm doing, and they did a nice big story on me, a nice big picture of me, front page. And then I went to the bigger paper, The Exchange, I think it was, in Fayetteville. I went to Fayetteville newspaper, and I spoke to the editor, and I gave my portfolio, and he looked at all my pictures, and he pushed himself back from his chair, and he folded his arms, and he says, I don't believe you took any of these pictures. I said, excuse me? He said, I don't believe you took any of these pictures. Now at that time, I'm in Fayetteville because Patti LaBelle and James Ingram are performing. I've already got clearance to go backstage to take pictures of Patti LaBelle from SWEENEY. I think his name is SWEENEY, her manager at that time. Is it SWEENEY? I don't think so. So anyway, he says, bring me a picture of Patti LaBelle. Then I know these pictures are yours. So I said, let me ask you something. If I bring you a picture of Patti LaBelle, how would you know I took it? And he looked at me like, they said, oh, you a smart nigga. If you were here, we would have lynched your ass. So anyway, it's James Ingram's birthday. He's on stage. I've already talked to Mr. James Ingram. James Ingram said, no, you can't take pictures of me. So I said, okay, fine. I respect that. I'm here to shoot Patti anyway, not you, Patti. But during James's performance, his wife and Patti interrupt his song to bring out a birthday cake. Because you see, it was James Ingram's birthday. So when James Ingram finished, he was going downstairs. And he had all this lipstick where they had kissed him. So I dropped my camera by my waist and I took a picture of him. And so I go back in front taking pictures of Patti. So I looked out the corner of my eye and I see James pointing at me like this. And so I see the Goon Squad coming at me. So immediately I roll the film into the cartridge, open the back, pop it, put it in my pocket. So they came and they grabbed my bag, grabbed the camera with Tessa, all this stuff like this. So I said, take it, like this. I had about 7 rolls of film. So my cousin was in the audience, so I ran up to a cousin and I gave him all the film. I said, Alvin, take this out. I can pick it up for you at home. So he said, okay, Gerard. So when I come back, here they come again. They grab me and they like this, bring me down to James Ingram. And James Ingram grabbed me by the sweater and he hit me proud like this. Where's the film? And I said, you're like this. I said, what are you? And so it was at the end of the show. It was the end of the night. So they kept my bag, my camera. I had the keys to my car in there. So they take me outside. And they say like, James, what happened? Oh, commotion, all that stuff like this. Like this. I'm saying, he hit me. James, he attacked me. So James is getting a limousine. He said, I didn't hit him. I was only trying to kiss him. So, only trying to kiss him. So I go to the hospital, and of course, I didn't take pictures. Of course, we gentlemen about this. Yeah. So the radio station started calling me to want to know what happened that night at the concert. And they said, well, James Ingram said he was trying to kiss you. I said, well, I got all this on audio, so if there's any doubt, you let me know. And when I go to my store, I'll play the tape for you. All the radio interviews and all that stuff. So I decided, I found this lawyer who just won a huge settlement. And he took the case. We were suing for $65,000 for damages. James Ingram lawyer was going to settle. But what happened was that at the minute of negotiation, he switched lawyers. He switched the lawyers and they shut down and said, we're not paying anything. So the lawyer came in and said, not paying anything. So he doesn't take the case. So I went to another lawyer. They said, oh, yeah, okay. So they contacted him. Then they shut down and said, not taking the case. I think they were paying him off, the lawyers. So that's what I think. I vowed never to miss another lawsuit because I couldn't pay a lawyer to do it. But anyway. So now, getting back to that's what happened. So anyway, that's what happened with Vonny moving the whole Grammy party and all that stuff around. Now, one other story I'm going to tell you about Vonny. Vonny was in, I think, Sacramento or Los Angeles, and she went to go see this venue. And she was the guest of honor, one of the guests of honors there. And she called me. She said, Gerard. Yes, Vonny. Vonny called me every morning. We talk every morning. Vonny and I talk every morning. So she said, I was going downstairs and I went to the elevator and I start talking to this person standing there. I said, yes, Vonny. And I'm talking and they didn't respond back. I said, really? She said, Gerard, when I moved my hair and looked closer, I was talking to myself in the mirror. Oh my God, she started laughing. Oh, I wanted to cry because baby, why wasn't there someone there to help you go downstairs? At this time, she was walking with a cane. She had problems seeing. She had a lot of medical issues. And here she is going by herself, and she was talking to herself in the mirror. So anyway, let's bring this full circle because I'm at 30 minutes now. I want to play this little piece of music for you. Oh, before I do that, let me say, I am so glad that the Robert Mueller report is out. I feel like I wasted 2 years of my life waiting for this thing to come out so Trump can be held accountable for his misdeeds. But, be that as it may, he's not, not that he's not, but it's been found to be no collusion. That's not hard for me to say, no collusion. And I'm glad for him. I'm glad for him. I'm glad for him. That doesn't mean other stuff may come out, but it's interesting watching all the talking heads, try who was gleeing for this thing to come out, but they kind of knew that it wasn't going to mount to. I mean, other things can happen. No more indictments, so that means Bianca and Judge Kushner and all of them are off the hook, and Don Jr. and all of them off the hook. So let's see what happens. But I feel like I wasted so much time watching this thing. So, but anyway. Now I can officially say I don't give a damn anymore. So I can go on my life. That's time I cannot get back watching all those shows. So I don't care what it says. I'll wait till the election time. Okay, but anyway, I wanted to play this song because this is Michael Jackson singing. I'm gonna show it to you. So this way, but before I do here, this is Double OG basketball team. Yes, I sponsored the basketball team, so I got my jersey. So let me see if I can set this up because you're gonna watch Michael Jackson.